Hello and welcome to another video. I'm down at my local nature reserve, locally known as the Bricky. Its official name is the Brickfield Pond. Used to be a brickworks here way back in the day. Anyway, I'm testing this new camera out. It is the Kodak Pixpro AZ421, but you already know that because you've seen it in the title. I bought this camera primarily because I've been using my phone for everything recently, and I bought it primarily to do wildlife and bird life with. It's a bridge camera, so a bridge camera is basically the in between a compact and a DSLR. I've had compacts, I've had DSLRs and I've had bridges. The downside of having a DSLR is all the interchangeable lenses. To do some of the stuff that this is doing, I've already tested it out. To do some of the shots that this is doing with a DSLR, I'd have to have, you know, a good size lens. Sometimes lenses can be more expensive than the camera itself. Compact was kind of out of the question because I need to get that distance. So when this is zoomed all the way out, it's actually 180 millimeters at f6.8, which is pretty good. Yeah, so I'm just here. You know, I have had a tinker with the camera. I've not really messed with any of the settings. If I've done a photo shot during this video, it will be automatic settings. The camera's doing it all. The only thing I have changed on the video side of the camera is something called exposure metering. And instead of having the whole frame, you can choose whether it's metering the whole frame, a bit in the middle, or a selected item. So I've just gone for the middle. Sounds like wacky races here today. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, or the microphone, should I say. Right, without further ado, let's get cracking. And then what I'll do at the end, we'll go back to HQ and I'll tell you what I think about the camera. You'll obviously be able to see the effects by then of how good it is. So far I am impressed, I will say that. Retail price on these, £160 to £190. I got this with an SD card for £79.99. Now there is a few drawbacks. It will only accept a 32GB memory card. That's the first thing. Second thing is there's no hot shoot mount on the top. So if I'm filming my camps, you know, and it's night time, I'm going to have to come up with a way of being able to mount a secondary light source, because the flash is no good when you're videoing, obviously. I do know you can get little frames where your camera sits one side and you can have the lamp on the other, so that's an option. Someone must be feeding the ducks because they're all coming in. Dive bombing. Yeah, so I'll talk about it as we go, or when we get back to HQ. So we're going to start off just here. I know there's a few specks of rain on the lens, but I wanted to see what the white balance was like, and I'm just going to zoom in now. It looks like all the gulls are in God's waiting room because the white balance isn't good. Eventually I started getting some half decent results. So just here I'm zooming in on a female mallard duck. That's not too bad. Now on this clip I was zoomed all the way in and using the digital zoom as well, which you just see me come out of there, but you get some pretty good results. So this camera is charged by a micro USB, and if you do start running out of battery power, you get about half an hour on your battery. You can plug in a power bank like I've done here with a USB to micro USB. Just plug it in the side of the camera, you can carry on. And then if you do turn the camera off and want to put it in your bag or whatever, it will just charge normally. We'll see that in a second. There we go. So it's just charging now. Camera's off and it's just charging. So I'm now handheld at this point. I do capture something other than a gull or a duck, and it's a brown rat. There are water voles on this pond, but there's also a lot of brown rats as well. And here's just a few photos that I managed to capture over the day. So a few final thoughts about the camera. For an entry-level camera, yes, absolutely brilliant. There's a few drawbacks, like I say, no hot shoe mount on the top of it. Half an hour battery. You can buy more batteries, but you know, you're going to be changing them out quite often if you're doing a lot of videoing like I do. So the best way is just to use a power bank like I showed in the video. The settings are really simple. I didn't get a manual this, but there is manuals online for all the different settings. A lot of them are like, it'll do it all for you. Like I say, all them photos in the video were all taken in auto mode on the camera. So yeah, there is a few things, and you will get used to it when you buy this camera, if you own one of these cameras. When you're zoomed all the way out and you're recording, when you start to bring the zoom lens back in, it will go out of focus, and then as it comes back, it'll go back into focus. So that's one thing to bear in mind. I'm really impressed at the distance you can get with the zoom lens, yeah, and that's why I bought it, to do some wildlife and bird watching videos with it. I did try a micro USB card in it with one of them little adapters, and the images looked a little bit grainy, so you didn't see any of that footage on this video. I think that's something to do with this. I've got it set to is it 720 HD, and it does recommend in the manual that you use a class 6 memory card with that setting. I've only got class 4, so I need to invest in a faster memory card. But yeah, I found with the micro SD card, it was a little bit too grainy. I only had that as a backup really. So yeah, but 32 gigabyte memory card, yeah, you can make a pretty good video with that. You know, it gives you plenty of time. So the photos you saw at the end, there was 5 or 6 photos. I took about 40 photos, of course, because when I'm in the editing suite, I'll only use the best ones. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. I do like it, and for the price as well. I mean, second hand, 80 quid, you can't go wrong. So that concludes this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.